You ever wonder why some people work twice as hard and still stay stuck? Not because they're lazy, not because they're broke, but because of how they live. The Amish, blessed with discipline, grit, and peace, still carry habits that quietly cost them time and money. This ain't judgment, it's observation. And maybe, just maybe, some of these habits, you got them too. Stick around. You'll see what I mean. 1. Doing everything by hand, even when they don't have to. They wake up before sunrise, hands in cold water, wrinkled fingers pulling at cow udders. No machines, just muscle, day in, day out. They do everything by hand because that's the way it's always been. You'll find a man chopping wood for hours while his wife grinds grain with a crank. And while it looks beautiful in a picture, honest, old, humble, there's a hidden cost. That cost, time, lots of it. While we press a button for bread, they knead for an hour. While we sip coffee, they're still fetching water. It's romantic, yeah, but it's also draining. Not just energy, opportunity. Imagine what they could do with even an hour saved each day. They don't see it that way, and maybe they don't want to. But you, watching this, should. 2. Holding on to slow communication like it's a badge. So here's the thing. You need to talk to a neighbor, maybe about hay, or a cow, or a broken cartwheel. But the phone's not in your home. It's in a shack down the road. Share with others. No texting, no emails, just patience. That's how the Amish do it. Always have. Now imagine you run a business. You need to confirm orders, call a supplier, deal with a change in plans. It doesn't work well when your phone's half a mile away in a wooden box. They say it's to avoid distraction. Fair enough, but the delay it creates? Costly. Time-sensitive things go unanswered. Opportunities missed. For the sake of silence, they lose momentum. And that silence? It isn't always golden. Sometimes it's just expensive. 3. Using horse and buggy in a world that moves in seconds. They roll slowly down gravel roads, hooves tapping soft against the earth. Leather reins, wooden wheels. It's picturesque. Feels like a painting. But while the world zips by in hybrids and trucks, they're still pushing along 1 mile at a time. It's peaceful, but it's painfully slow. Got a delivery to make? That'll take all day. Need supplies from town? Better plan ahead. There's something to be admired here. Simplicity, control, no gas bills. But there's also loss of time, of efficiency, sometimes of weather. Rain doesn't wait, neither does urgency. And in those moments this old way, it turns from charming to costly, especially when faster options are right there, just outside their reach, by choice. 4. Turning down electricity even when it could help. There's this stubborn beauty in living without electricity. No buzzing lights, no hums or clicks, just firelight, the crackle of a stove, the rhythm of daylight. But when it's dark at 5 p.m. in winter, when the butter won't churn because your arms are tired, when laundry piles up because you've no machine to help, you start to wonder, is this necessary or is it habit? They'll use battery lamps sometimes, maybe a generator quietly, but real power? Nope. They say it opens the door to temptation, and maybe it does, but it also closes the door to convenience. And in doing so, they spend hours doing what could have been done in minutes. That kind of time loss, it adds up daily. 5. Cutting off learning too early. They finish school at 13 or 14. That's it. No high school, no college, no books beyond the Bible, and a few work manuals. Learning stops. Life starts. They move into trade work, farming, woodworking, sewing. All useful, all respected, but the world's grown bigger now, more complex, and while they keep things simple, they also limit themselves. No biology, no economics, no technology. That gap, education, it's not just about diplomas. It's about choices, awareness. The kind of thinking that helps build a better business, a better budget, a better life. Their world works for them, but step outside of it, and you'll see they've shut doors without even realizing it. 6. Doing all business inside the community. They buy from each other, trade services, keep money circulating close. It's protective, keeps values intact, but it's also restrictive. You won't find them comparing online prices, or reaching out for better materials from cities, or hiring outside help. Nope, they stick with their own. And while that's noble, it can become a trap, a sort of echo chamber of trades. If the blacksmith's backed up, you wait. If the baker's off sick, no bread. If one carpenter charges more than average, there's little negotiation. And while loyalty is a virtue, it sometimes becomes a cage. Keeps things smaller, slower, less competitive, less efficient. 7. Sticking to home remedies when modern help exists. The Amish know plants, salves, teas, tinctures. They've got cures passed down for generations. And for small stuff, aches, cuts, coughs, they often work. But when something serious hits, when lungs tighten or bones break or infections brew, they still wait. Still try herbs first. Still hope. That hesitation, it can be dangerous. Delays treatment. Sometimes worsens it. They don't carry health insurance either. Hospitals are a last resort. And while it's admirable, again, it costs them. In risk, in health, in money too. Because late treatment usually means bigger bills. And for something that could have been caught early, they pay the price. Quietly. 8. Building slowly without modern tools. They build by hand. Every board, every nail. No electric drills. No powered saws. Just muscle and memory. Takes longer, yes. But the results? Strong. Meant to last. Still, there's a trade-off. Projects that could be done in a week take a month. Repairs wait until enough hands are available. No scaffolding. No lifts. And that time, that extra labor, it costs. Sometimes in money. Sometimes in safety. While we love to watch it happen, the process, the sweat, the care, there's no denying it's slower. And when every day counts, when weather threatens, when emergencies strike, this way of building feels more like burden than beauty. 9. Never advertising beyond word of mouth. They make things, good things, rocking chairs, baskets, jams and breads and wooden sheds. But you won't see ads. No Facebook page, no Etsy store, no phone number even. They rely on word of mouth, signs on dirt roads. And while that keeps things local, it keeps things small. They could double their income, triple their reach, be known around the world. But they don't want it, or maybe don't know how. Either way, the result is the same: lost profit, wasted potential, great products sitting in barns instead of in homes. And that too is a quiet kind of loss. 10. Refusing to use financial tools that build wealth. No banks, no credit cards, no stocks, no digital wallets. The Amish deal in cash, store savings in safes, handle loans within the community. They don't like debt. Avoid it like the flu. And that's wise to a point. But it also means no credit history, no investment returns, no compound interest working for them in the background. Money just sits, idle, waiting. And while that might feel safe, it's actually costly. Because every year, that cash loses value. And every year, inflation eats a little more. They're not broke, but they could be wealthier, with tools they choose never touch. So there it is. 10 quiet habits, rooted in tradition, but costly in today's world. The Amish, they live strong. But not every habit should be passed down. Sometimes, letting go is wiser than holding on. And maybe, just maybe, your life's a little tangled with these same threads. Rustic Plantry's all about learning from the old ways, but not blindly following them. If this hit home, don't just like the video. Reflect. And we'll see you next time, where old wisdom meets modern truth.